As men, we've literally become the weakest that we've ever been. Physical strength is the lowest it's been, obesity is rising, testosterone is decreasing, sperm counts are getting lower and lower. These are the 6 habits that are basically keeping you weak. And although this video is aimed at men, it might help some women too, to be honest. I've been susceptible to all of these things in different ways. For you to overcome them, you need to draw a line in the sand and decide that, look, it's time for me to level up and become the best version of myself. It's not easy, but it can be done. So the very first thing is alcohol. Now, I'm not someone that says to people, hey, completely cut it out, but I think majority of people, they don't handle alcohol very well. So for most people, it's best to avoid it. If you are a guy who drinks every single week, no wonder you are weak. Alcohol is a toxin. And when you drink alcohol, your body stops burning fat and tries to burn out the toxin from your body, which is the reason why a lot of men who drink alcohol, they get a beer belly. They call it a beer belly for a reason. Another issue is that when you drink too much alcohol, the likelihood is that your body fat will increase. When your body fat increases as a man, you actually start to produce more female hormones and it can affect your testosterone levels. So naturally, alcohol will really affect you. It will affect your ability to build muscle. It will affect your cognitive function. It's just gonna mash you up, basically. I try to keep my rules pretty simple. I drink on special occasions, weddings, birthdays, things like that. And for me, that's good enough. I don't need to drink at every single social event because what's the point? And the World Health Organization actually linked alcohol to depression. A lot of people that I know who have suffered with depression usually end up drinking a lot of alcohol too. That link makes sense. The next thing you need to stop is drugs. And I mean every form of drugs. Seriously, this is the one thing I didn't ever struggle with because I've never taken drugs. But if you're not where you want to be, if you're struggling, if you're lacking in physical and mental performance, taking drugs is only making it worse. There's a lot of people that feel like, oh, I can handle it, you know, and we have a lot of functioning drug addicts, people that do cocaine every week, but they still perform well in the office, but their lives in tatters at home. People don't like to talk about it, but it's the truth. If you really want to be the best version of yourself, you need to give up the drugs. And I mean, in all facets. It affects your brain function. It causes memory issues. It makes you have poor judgment. The likelihood is after you do drugs, you're probably going to do something bad after that. Drugs are never isolated. They're usually on a night out. They're usually with friends, and bad things usually happen after that. I don't know too many people that do drugs and live a happy, fulfilled, successful life. Obviously, there are people that do it. There are loads of celebrities that do cocaine and do drugs, but they also have a lot of demons. Just because they have money doesn't mean that they're happy. So my advice is cut it out. I know it's not that simple, but get the necessary help where you need it. Because at the end of the day, if you do want to become the best version of yourself, drugs is not going to get you there. It's not going to get you there. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do any recreational drugs every now and then. Maybe you might do some mushrooms for creative purposes. You might smoke a bit of weed. Cool. But if that is your daily habit and you aren't where you want to be, it doesn't even make sense, because why would you be spending money on things and your life isn't where you want it to be yet? You should be investing in yourself to become the best person you can become, not wasting it on drugs. And one factor about drugs that a lot of people don't talk about is how it does affect relationships. Because you may have people in your life that really want to be there for you, really want you to be the best version of yourself, and they don't want you to be functioning with drugs. They don't want to be around you when you're high or when you're always drugged up. And these people really love you. Drugs don't just mash you up, but they also destroy relationships around you. And a lot of people don't really understand that and they overlook that. Step number 3, not training. It's kind of basic, right? Keeps you weak if you don't lift weights. But the thing is, when you don't train, you don't have any muscle mass. Men need muscle. All of us, we need muscle, okay? So you should be hitting the gym 3 to 5 days a week. If you can go 6 days a week, go for it. Make sure you're doing your upper body 2 times a week, your lower body 2 times a week, and get your cardio in. My advice is at least have one day where you dedicated to cardio. That's getting your steps in, doing runs, stuff like that. Stay functional. I'm not saying you need to go out there and be a big top bodybuilder because, hey, they ain't got no fitness. But you want to make sure you're functional, you're fit, you're active. It's not just for you. You're doing it for your kids. You're doing it for your other family members. You're doing it so that you can be the best version of yourself. Look at all the top CEOs. Have you not noticed that they're getting fit? Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, even Elon Musk is doing MMA. So there's a reason that even these guys, these little guys that don't even look that strong, they're starting to recognize that, yo, I've got to start looking after my health. I've got to start getting in amazing shape. They're doing it. You should do it. And you don't have to start heavy. Literally start off 2-3 days a week. Just slowly start building it into your lifestyle and into your routine. And I promise you, you will begin to level up just by making that commitment. It's difficult, it's not easy, but it's something that I recommend everyone does. Every man should be in the gym, lifting weights, pick up heavy shit and put it back down. It's that simple. Over time, your muscles will build. Do push-ups, do pull-ups, do your planks. You will get stronger. I promise you. I promise you. It will boost your testosterone. It will make you more confident. It will make you appear more attractive to most people. It will improve your heart health. You'll have more energy. You'll sleep better. And trust me, there's no reason why you can't commit to it. Number 4 is lack of social life. If you have a lack of social life, it can affect you. I know as men, we want to spend time alone. Sometimes we love that isolation. We just love to be alone. But having a social life is actually very, very important. All the research shows that people who lack social lives are more likely to fall into depression. They're also more likely to self-harm. And we know that suicide is one of the biggest killers in men. So for me, I think that all men should dedicate some time to building a social life. If you don't have one, try and build one. One of the best things you can do is go to a martial arts gym, go to kickboxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, make friends, okay? Don't be afraid to talk to people. I know nowadays, like, talking to people in public just is not something that a lot of people do, but don't be afraid to like invite yourself to things. Like literally, if you feel like you're so alone, like you have to be a bit bold. You got to be a bit brave. You got to take yourself out of your comfort zone. And then another thing you can do is find social groups online, find Facebook groups, find run clubs. Like there's so many ways you can start to build a bigger social life. And then once you do that, I promise you, your health will improve. If you're someone that is just like locked away all the time and you never have any social life, you will find it difficult. And all the research shows us that isolation leads to more stress, which then affects your mental health. So improving your social life is actually one of the biggest factors. All this lone wolf stuff is nonsense, okay? Men have always done well in tribes. We've always done well in groups. We've always done well when there's competition and there's camaraderie. When me and my friends are going out, we're competing. When we're in the gym, we're competing. We want to be better than each other. That is good for you. Number 5 is lack of self-investment. A lot of guys get to a stage where they don't feel the need to invest in themselves anymore. And I'm talking on multiple levels. That could be you feel like you don't need a coach physically in the gym, when really you do need a fitness coach because your fitness is crap. You feel like you don't need a money mentor, someone to help you make more money. You feel like you don't need a life coach, a dating coach, whatever it may be. You probably do. And the problem that a lot of men face is they get to this point in their life where they feel like they can do everything. I recently invested 15 grand into a sales manager to teach me how to basically rerun my sales team and set the standards higher, because I knew that I'm not hitting the numbers that I want to hit. I'm hitting good numbers, numbers that I want to hit. Therefore, I need to invest in myself. So if you feel like you've already smashed the game, you're not in the right place. That's impossible. You can't feel like that. It doesn't matter how old you get, you're always learning. So you need to commit to investing in yourself, whether that's a coach, a mentor, even a friend. But there is always someone that is a few steps ahead of you and you can learn from them. You can either learn for free or you pay. I like to pay because I don't want to waste time. So that's what you need to do. Invest in yourself. Whatever areas in your life that you feel you're weak in, invest in that. And what makes that incredibly important is the accountability factor and the ability to grow. Because the truth is that a lot of us have no one to be accountable to, which is why we don't hit our goals. And accountability will increase your chance of hitting your goals by almost 80%. So it's down to you at the end of the day. And then number 6, I left this point to the end because for me, I feel like this is where most men are going wrong nowadays, is there's no purpose. When you lack purpose, the reality is that you are directionless. When you're directionless, you will go in any direction and therefore you fail. Purpose is not something you just find overnight. It's something that you have to think about, you have to work on, you have to really dedicate time to trying to find. Because at the end of the day, some people, they know what they want to do from really, really young. They want to be a fireman, they want to be this, they want to be that, they want to be a politician. But others, it takes time, and that's fine. You might be in your mid-20s, you might be in your late 30s. But over time, you need to find a purpose and you need to be willing to take risk to go for it. The ability to take risk is so, so important. And what happens is, especially in society, is each year you get a bit older, you go through the school system and your risk-taking ability, your appetite for risk gets beaten out of you. It gets slapped out of you. Oh, do this job, make 20 grand a year, make 30 grand a year, work really, really hard for promotion by your boss who tells you to do this and do that. And your ambition and your ability to take risk in life is getting slowly eaten away because of the way that society treats us and the way that it makes you feel. And that's fine. Like, it is what it is. We have to live this life. But you need to actually find your purpose. Find what you want to do. The average millionaire is 57 years old, which means that most of you have time. Most of you watching this still have time, okay? Don't feel like it's over. It's never over till it's over, till the fat lady sings. So when you find your purpose, I promise you, you then find more peace, you then become more resilient, and you're more likely to achieve whatever you want to achieve. And there's a study in the psychology of science that actually says that when you don't have a purpose, you end up lacking resilience. People who have no purpose, they're more likely to quit and give up. And I don't want you to be a quitter. I don't want you to give up. All right. So those are the 6 things that keep men weak. If you address each point, the likelihood is you'll be strong. And being strong is one of the pivotal factors for me as a man or a woman. So do that. And if you want to learn the importance of why every man should know how to fight and defend themselves, don't mean to be violent, then you should probably watch this video right here.